morning, everyone. Today I am going to be working on canning some relish, and I thought I'd just bring it along in case you've never thought of doing it, or maybe thought how difficult it might be, because relish is, I think it's a lot simpler than pickles, um, and it's just an easy little condiment to have. That if you have a garden, you can grow the cucumbers, you can grow the green peppers, you can grow the onions, and that's all you need for relish. Now, with that being said, my cucumber harvest was terrible this summer, and so I had to buy the cucumbers. We did grow the green peppers, and we also had some onions. So it was a mixed match of what I grew and what I had to buy. So when I show you the size of these cucumbers, you're going to think I'm crazy. But I'll tell you how I did it, and hopefully it'll make a really nice crunchy relish. We kind of like ours a little crunchy. Now, the very first thing that we did, well, that I did, that I saved my life this summer is I bought this little Chop-O-Matic guy. I know most of you know it. You have the blade in here, and then you put the product down, and then you whack the lid. That has saved me so much time and effort. I've got arthritis in my hands, and just the chopping makes it difficult for me, but I'm not ready to give up canning. So you might know that I don't like a lot of gadgets, but this one pays for itself, and it's worth me trying to find a place to store it here. So using the little Chop-O-Matic really helped. Now, I had to buy cucumbers, and I bought them from our co-op, and we don't get to see them before we buy them. But this is the size of the cucumbers that I use. So what I did was I cut it down the middle, and I scooped out the seeds because I didn't want all those adult seeds in the relish. And it chopped up really nice, really worked fine. Just had to make sure I opened it up and took the seeds out of it. So that's the cucumbers. With the peppers, the recipe I have says 2 cups of red and 2 cups of yellow. I had all red. I don't think the colors matter. You do have a variety of sweetnesses with the colors. If you just get them green, they're pretty immature. They're just a new plant, and then you can let them darken, go from yellow to red to whatever. I had all red, and so that's what I used, and then I just used the onion from the pantry. So it was very simple. It's 1 cup onion, 2 cup red pepper, or red sweet pepper, 2 cup of the yellow sweet pepper, and then 2 cups of the cucumber. And then what I did was I put that all in a bowl, and I used my turmeric, and I put 1 tablespoon of turmeric in there, and then I think it's 2 quarts of water. And I did this yesterday afternoon, and I just stuck it in the fridge overnight, and I got it out this morning, and I put together a pickling mix of cinnamon sticks, and 4 cinnamon sticks, and then about 4 tablespoons of the pickling spice. Now, if you have mustard seed, whole allspice, and whole cloves, you can do that as well. I couldn't find any whole allspice, so I just used the pickling spices, and it worked great.
Okay, so we are now ready to put the relish in the jars. Now remember, you should be seeing steam because this has been simmering all morning. So it's going to be a hot product going to warm jars, and then it'll be hot when it goes into the water bath canner. So I just grab some ladles of the relish, and I am going to fill them up until I have about an inch of head space. And I probably will go back and refill them as I see what's available for the 7 jars. And the reason I do 7 is because that's all that will fit into the water bath canner at one time. That one I got pretty full, so it'll work out beautifully. And in this pot I still have my spice bag. It says to take it out before now, but I don't know why I would need to do that. So the spice bag's still in there. I try to give it as much time with the spices as possible. I'm going to try to be a little bit more careful with how full they get. So we love relish. I put it like if I make a macaroni salad or a potato salad, any type of summer salad, I pretty much use relish, you know. Then of course we use it for the hot dogs, hamburgers, things like that. It's just a really nice condiment to have. And like I said, it's so much easier than pickles. You can see the nice little cuts that the machine makes. Okay, so we've got the jars filled up. It's very important to use that funnel and be careful on where you touch because it's very hot. Now this is a little stick. I honestly don't know the proper term for it. We call it the bourbon stick because what you'll do is you put it into your jar and you run it around the inside of the jar, and that basically will release any air bubbles that's in the liquid and the product that's in the jar. And you'll find that sometimes that will change how much is showing in the jar. If you burp it, the quantity might go down, so you can refill your jars a little bit as you go. Now this is a paper towel. We put some vinegar on it, and I'm going to use it and I'm going to wipe the rings. Now this is a very important step, and if you're into canning, you might have heard lately about a lot of lid failure, and I'm not saying anyone's doing anything wrong, but here's something that old timers and how I was taught to can is you need to clean your jar, the top of your jars. It gets any food particles off. It just cleans it and makes it more cohesive. The next thing that I still do that companies are telling people that they don't have to do is they are telling you that you do not have to put your jars in hot water and boil the lid. They're saying that the rubber on the lids are being made so that step can be missed. So I make sure that I boil some water and then I put my lids in that water. It loosens up the rubber and it makes it so it is more cohesive to the top of the jar. I do have, I can't say that I've never had jars fail. I have more problem with broken jars than with lid malfunctioning, but those are two things that I do that I see that just aren't being taught, and that companies of lids aren't telling you. They're also saying that lids are only good for 18 months, but if it has a good seal on it, your food is safer for longer than 18 months. So that's what I have to say about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, go ahead and get all the jars ready, and then we'll meet you back at the water bath canner. Okay, so here's our 7 jars of relish, and something I forgot to mention is that pint jars, which these are small mouth pint jars, they are to be water bathed for 10 minutes. We put that out on the front porch. So Ron's going to go fill that up. And then when they are done, we'll bring them back in and I'll show you what happened. Okay, well, good morning, everybody. It's the next morning after we hot water bath the relish. And as you can see, all 7 jars made it through. They all sealed nicely. And one way you can tell is by, you can just look and see, but another way you can tell by touch is when you push on the top of the lid, it doesn't give, it doesn't pop up and down. So you know that they sealed nicely. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to wipe them down. I always seem to have a film on the top from the water bath canner. So I like to wash them down. And then I will write up here on the top what it is and the date. That's what the line here is for, is the date you can put right here. And then I will put them in my pantry and we will enjoy them all summer long. I really hope you enjoyed this video about making relish. I hope I conveyed how easy it is, and it's enjoyable. If you've never had it, it's so much easier than making pickles. I think I've already told you that, but let me know what you think about it. Please share this video with others so they can see how easy making relish is, and we look forward to seeing you next video. Bye-bye.